So welcome to another edition of our tutorial. Today we are going to be learning how to create this wedding flyer. So I have a couple of slides here. This is the one. This is one of them. This is another one. This is another one. Sometimes when you're working like that, you may want to create multiple slides just to get a view of the work from different perspectives. And then, especially if you're still starting out as a designer, you might not be able to get the entire picture you want to get at a single glance. Do you understand? So you might need to try a few slides, and at the end of the day, you pick the one that is best for you. I'm going to be walking you through all of the procedures on how to create this design. Ensure you follow the video. Ensure you follow every bit of the video. Don't skip any part. The problem with some designers, especially beginners, is that you are not patient in following process. That is why you struggle with your designs. So when you are listening to tutorials, when you are taking lessons, ensure that you follow every bit of the lesson so that you are not, you don't have gaps in your learning. Do you understand? So ensure you follow every part of this lesson and take notes. One thing I advise, especially beginners, take notes when you are watching lessons so that you don't have unanswered questions when you are practicing. Do you understand? So the size we're going to be using for this design is 2480 by 3508. The reason why I'm using this specification is because it's a work that is going to be printed. At the course of this lesson, I'm going to be telling you the reasons why I did most of the things I did. I believe that's how to learn. Do you understand? So you understand not just the steps and the procedures, but you understand why the steps and the procedures were carried out. Do you understand? So I decided to use this resolution because this aspect ratio, because the work is going to be printed. It's going to be printed in an A5 size. This is a wedding jotter, and the printing is going to be done on an A5 size. There are many other resolutions that can work for A5. I think 1240, 1748 as well will work for A5 size, if I'm not mistaken. I decided to use this because I want a higher resolution. Do you understand? So I think this is going to be giving this specification is the highest resolution you'll be able to get for an A5 size. That's why I decided to use this. All right. So the first thing we want to do is, of course, we know we are going to be creating our background with a third-party app. You are going to start your work from PixelLab, especially specification of size, especially for those of you that, if you've not watched my previous tutorials where I explain how to set up your workspace, you can check my YouTube channel. Some of the videos are still there. Do you understand? So the first thing, especially when you are doing a work that is not a fictional work, that is going to be printed, you want everything you are doing to be in alignment with the specification of that is going to be required for the printing. Do you understand? Before you start creating your background, I told you before that when you go to PicsArt, where we are going to be creating our background, PicsArt doesn't have that feature where you are going to be able to set up your workspace, set up the aspect ratio, specify the aspect ratio of your workspace. You want to start from PixelLab. What you do is that if for you now that you may probably want to replicate this design, you can just import the design itself on PicsArt and use it as your reference aspect ratio. Let's say you are starting this design from scratch and you don't have a reference design. What you want to do is, when you come to your PixelLab, specify your aspect ratio. Let me go to a blank workspace. Let's say you are in your workspace. Like this is a blank workspace. You just open a blank workspace. Go to your image size, right? And specify the aspect ratio you want. 2480 by what now? 3508. Hit OK. For those of you that are just watching my video for the first time, you don't know where your image size is, select this last icon. When you select this last icon, you hover around your down button, you find image size here. So those of us that are professionals already, let's be patient with those that are still learning. We have a mixture of audience, both beginners and professionals that watches our videos. Sometimes we take it from the scratch so that everybody will be able to learn. So those of us that are already pro, please bear with us as we are taking it from the basic, some of the basic things you may not need. Just be patient with us. When you do that, I've also said another way to set your workspace is to come here, these three icons here. Select these three icons. Then you find image size right here. Find image size right here. Select image size. Then you can just enter in your specification here. When you are done, hit OK, and then you have your workspace. So I'm going to get rid of this text on the screen. What you want to do is, what I'm trying to do here is just to set up my works, just to get a specification. So I can just import a random image. Let's say I import the image I want to use, one of the image I want to use for the design. So I just have it on the screen like this. Do you understand? What I'm going to do is to just go to this my background here, this same background icon, select this background icon, then you will find transparent here. Select transparent. Sorry, I imported the image that has background, so let me hide it. Import another one. For those of you that don't know how to import, if you want to import, select this middle icon here. Once you select that, hover around your down button, you find import. Hit import. This is what I'm actually supposed to import. Sorry, I think my images are coming with background. Give me a minute, let me just go and remove the background. So, sorry for that interruption. So when you import your background, like, you save it with a transparent background, then you export it. This is just my method. You can have your own method. So you just export it. Those of you that don't know how to export, you come here, select those three buttons, then you find export here, export image. Select this drop down menu, you find PNG. Select this drop down menu, you find Ultra, then you save. Once you are done saving, head to PicsArt. So I'll open my PicsArt. This is the background I already created. I'm going to be creating it from the scratch. Let me just cancel this workspace. Once you open your PicsArt, you should be finding something like this. You should be directed to an interface like this. What you want to do is to select start with a photo. Then you'll be directed to your gallery. When you're directed to your gallery, look at what I just saved now with a transparent background. That work I just saved now with a transparent background. This is it. I'll just select that. So like I said, I only need this stuff I just created, and I just need it to be able to specify the aspect ratio. You realize now that I now have a specified size. The specified size I'm going to want my design to assume. I now have it. Without doing that, this card will not give me the option to specify that aspect ratio. So that is the reason why, that's just the only reason why I did that. Another way to do that is if you already have a design that has the aspect ratio that you want to use. Let's say you've worked on an A5 design before and you want to use the same size. Just import that same design. Let PixelLab assume that aspect ratio. Then you delete it. Bring in your background and start working on your project like that. Do you understand? The next thing I'm going to do is hover around my down button here. You'll find add photo. You find add photo here. Then of course I'll be directed to my gallery. I select all of the backgrounds I'm going to be using. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let me also select the background the already made background, so we can use it as a reference. Once you are done selecting the guys you want to use, select add photo here, add here, then they become imported to your workspace. Now I don't need this guy I brought up earlier. I don't need it anymore, so I can just turn it off or even completely delete it. Just delete it. I don't need it anymore. What I just need is that aspect ratio. I'm going to hide all of this. The first thing I'm going to do is to select this default background that is transparent. Select that. I'll select background here. I'll select my color wheel here. Then I'll tweak it to get the color I want. Just put this one around 360. Then this one, bring it somewhere here. Let's say around, let's see. This one is on 12, while this is on 90, around 90 something. Just take this setting, hit OK. Then you should be having a colored background like this. So once you are satisfied, ensure you select this good mark here. So I will now open my layer panel to start with the background I want. So this is the first background I'm going to be using. I'll turn it on. This. So I'll increase the size, let it fill the entire workspace. So have it somewhere like this. Then ensure that is the first layer after the immediate background. I'll select it. Then I'll bring in, change the blend mode to screen. Then hit OK. The next thing I'll bring in, the next background I'm going to be using is this one here. Bring it here. Increase the size. So just let it stay somewhere like that. Change the blend mode to screen. Excuse me. Change the blend mode to screen. Go to FX here. Ensure that this first option is selected, blur. Then you will find some blur options here. Select this one, faker blur. Select faker blur. Then select the settings icon on it. Tap on it. Take all of this, take down the size, take down the hardness, take down the fade. Then increase this blur. Increase it well enough. I have like 83. Then hit OK. You should be having something like this. So I think I want to increase this size. So you should have something like this. Then hit OK. Then the next thing I'm going to be bringing is this other background here. So I increase the size. Place it somewhere here. I'll go to the blend mode. I'll use this one. I'm going to use add for it. Then I'll hit OK. I can still tweak it later if I'm not satisfied or nothing is permanent. I think I'm going to give this one a faker blur as well. I'll go to FX, select faker blur, then do the same thing I just did earlier. Blur this out well enough, hit OK. So I have something like this. Then the next thing I'm going to bring is the last background. Increase it. I'll go to the blend mode, change it to screen. I'm not sure what I used here is screen actually. So let me bring in the original background so we can just check. So sorry, I had to just go check the background to be sure that we are doing something that is exactly close. Alright, you want to be sure that what you are doing is, what I'm doing for you is, even though not 100% exactly, let it be close to what it was. So I'm going to make a few adjustments here. Let me turn off all of these other layers. With this first layer, let me make some adjustments to this first layer. I'm just going to increase the size. The idea of creating a wedding flyer is that you want to have a top and a bottom. And I'm going to give this a faker blur as well. So just blow it out like that. Place it somewhere. Ensure that this down part is way to the below. Let it look as if that's where their leg is going to be standing on. You understand? Okay, so I can now turn on this guy. The blend mode for this should be add, of course. Then I'll turn on this guy as well. The blend mode for this should be screen. So we should be having something like this. I'm going to move this one a little bit downward. You understand? So that I just have something like this. With something like this, I can just hit up. Now let's go bring in one of those images so that let's see how it looks like. I'm going to bring in one of those. I brought in one of those images. This is the main image I used on the design. So I'll just place it somewhere here. I just want to have a feel of what it's going to look like. I can select my erase tool here. Select the eraser here. Then I'll select erase here. Then I'll take down the hardness and increase the size a little bit. Then I can just use my finger to wipe out to blend it in like that. I'm satisfied. I'll hit OK. It just kind of gives you an idea of what your final design is going to look like. So I think I like something like this. I'll hit OK. If I want, I can still even bring in the other image. But I think we are okay with this. The next thing I'm going to do is to just set. I'm just going to download the background. Then we go finish up the work in PixelLab. I'll use this button to download the background. So you'll be directed to this interface. If you're using the Pro version, you can select PNG. Then you hit on download here. So I already have it, so I don't have to download it again. So we're going to be now heading to PixelLab to go complete the design.